Let's try Space Engineers. Hopefully not blocking a whole lot. Well, actually, it might be. Maybe the camera should get moved. Now that I'm thinking about it, because it could be in that lower right-hand corner. Just if we're in ships, we won't be able to see we won't be able to see the hydrogen. And the stuff from there. I could try to squeeze myself in over there. I feel like the hotbar is far less useful information than what's in the HUD or the thing that I was going to point at. This right here, over here, which you can't see. Anyway, we're going to go with this for now. We'll see how this works. So, alright, what are we going to do today? Well, first things first, let's check our to-do list. Missions, scout for bases, OSHAs, get ice, and I think we need to I think when you start working, I might fix that. On escape plan. Yep, start working on escape plan. How are we going to get off this planet? Music was a little loud in my ears. I guess I could see how loud it is. My laptop. 1 second. Will I get a bunch of feedback from this? Game might be a much loud for me. Now, just a hair. Alright. Check on missions. So, what are we trying to deliver? Our only mission is a bunch of motors. 968 motors to be exact. So let's... Pretty sure we have that many. Let's go cargo motors. 968. Shift around a little bit here. Yeah, we're going to block a little bit of the inventory screen. That's not a big deal. I think this is just kind of our best bet. Plus 968, right? Yeah, okay. Off. Let's head over this way. For some reason we don't have the marker, but we know where it's at. Let's turn off our forward thrust so we can glide a little bit. We healed up that 2 points of health, but I don't think it's a big deal. pointed a little too much down there. I need to figure out a way to get some like in-flight music going. It isn't just the game music. That would be interesting, I think. Whether or not the music would be interesting to figure out how to do that. Dark. I guess technically we don't need those lights on when we're just flying. Those are for landing. Turn those back off for now. This kind of makes the game look dark. Station. Oh. Overshot a little bit, but that's okay. Must be, we're a little heavy from all those motors. That's the feeling a little weird. Let's land. And let's come inside. Probably nothing to take, because just here not too long ago. Finish. And let's see what options we got. All right. It's almost not worth doing, but sure. Oh, distance, there we go. We can definitely do that. Do that. I don't think we can do reactor components because I think those take platinum. You can definitely do hydrogen bottles though. Could look that up real quick and see. No reactor components take gravel, which we have plenty of. Ingot, gravel, and silver. Could do those. Only 4 of them? Get money. Do other things. Alright, so another thing we can kind of start to think about is with our escape plan, we can build a ship or buy a ship. If we bought a ship, we'd need one that has interplanetary ability, like this. Have the money for that. Or baller. Okay. Can't take the bulk freighter. If we got this, that would kind of that would kind of take away the need to really get anything else. We can pretty much just jump planet to planet already, setting anything else up. I like the idea of at least, setting up some small way station style bases. So if we bought one, we might buy. We'd maybe buy the hauler. Maybe buy the hauler, but let's consider what we would do if we wanted to build our own. First things first, get back to base. Make our way back here. Don't worry about that unknown signal. There'll be plenty more. It'd also be cool if we found like another pirate signal or some such thing. Go scavenge. But one of our tasks was to collect more ice, and we're going to need to do that anyway. If we're going to go off planet, particularly with a large grid ship, which is what I'm thinking we're going to want. We're going to need a lot of hydrogen. So probably even need a second hydrogen tank on the base. Distracted by phone. All right, made it safely back. Straighten ourselves up a little bit and land. All right. And land. There we go. That's better. So we want to get some ice, and the best way is probably with the drill right there. We want that though. Let's look at our cargo. We got quite a bit of cargo space. But we will fill it up almost immediately. We have a lot of iron, but we will probably want more iron. What I'm thinking is we need a second hydrogen tank and a second cargo container. It means we might build this out and push our parking space forward. I think we should. Let's jump in here. Let's unlock. Move forward a little bit. Maybe there. Parking brake on. And brake on. Sorry, not parking brake. Those are actually different things. That. Let's do tank. And let's do a cargo container. That. If we leave this, it'll sit on top of that just fine. Let's put a tank there and a large cargo. Oh, interior plate. I can't place it. Oh, is this in the way? Shouldn't have been. Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, it is. With a half block. That's right. There we go. We're actually able to grab everything for that. Go. Let's come over this way. Let's sit in our seat. We'll come to this side. There. Gosh, I thought we had stuff for this. The problem is I don't remember what any of these do. And they probably all move really slow. So let's say base drill, pistons up. Raise them quickly. Okay. Now let's find the use the rotor. Base drill head. Top rotor is the right one. And let's velocity. So to like 1 maybe. And save there. Let's extend that out a little bit. So real piston out. Reverse that. Off. Okay. And then maybe spin that rotor a little more. I think it's this one. We didn't put it on anything. Good for me. Good job, Nate. There we go. Okay, so now we can turn this on. Wheels on. go find our 4 pistons. Up. We'll set this to like a negative 0.02. See how that gets us. Are moving. Yeah. Slowly but surely, they're moving. It's actually wanted to go fairly slow. To kind of keep an eye on our inventory stuff, let's go ahead and make sure that our generators are on. Good. Probably turn. We won't. So we could turn the generator on the drill ship, but I don't think we need to. Let go. That's going to get. Ooh. See that? Let's go ahead and take it off. Get some ice, we get some stone, get some iron. We need to rebuild our connector here so that we can dock our rover. Not the best way to do that, but very functional way to do that. It works. So good there. How are our drills doing? And they're not going to get as much as they would if this were a untouched area, but I think we're still going to get quite a bit. Right, so not a lot there. No, we just haven't got a lot yet. All right. How about our tanks? I should take one. Okay. So those will be once we get down out of the ice, we actually might want to stop and if we get iron and stone stuff, that's fine. We just don't super need it. One's over here making noises, distracting me. with something that I'll have to respond to here in a second. But till then, let's turn off the drills, turn off the spin. Reverse those. I don't remember which ones they are in the hotbar there. Okay. Let's see how much ice we got. So we didn't even fill that up, but it's okay. We're gonna get some more. Refineries get through the stone. Fine. Take a while because the got yield modules on it instead of speed modules. Which we could set up another refinery. A second refinery that has speed modules explicitly for, say, like stone. Big option. We did that. How would we set it up? Good. Either put it there, or we can come over here. I don't want to block our windows. We can move this. That might be the smarter thing. But we got to do some funky looping of our conveyor sorters to make sure that we don't backfill any other ores in, as well as getting ingots and things out. It's got to have multiple connections going for it. Well, then we won't worry about it. Space really isn't set up for this, for that. I think what we'll do is once this is, oh, that could have been bad. Once this is fully raised, we might just move out rather than around further. We can get some more of that ice on, move faster. Because we definitely want all this filled. We will probably use a full large containers worth if we build our ship. I mean, if we don't, we may slap a large hydrogen tank on our ship. Partly because while you can find ice in space, there's tons of it. Finding anything in space can be very difficult. The last thing we want is to be in space and not be able to, like, fuel ourselves. That would be very frustrating. Bring this back around. roughly the 0 position. Now let's take our drill out. Push it out a little bit. There we work. Now let's turn your head on. Or not really turn it on, it's already on. You don't throw it a lock. Base drill heads on. Down. Reverse. Nope, nope. Not the down ones, the up ones. Those are going to go real fast. That would have been real bad. Up pistons are the ones we want to reverse right now. So yeah, we started to reverse these ones at 10 times the speed of these ones. Would have ended poorly. So we're getting more ice. Let's check to see what we're going to have to build. Raft for this. We know we got that. That's 8 silicon wafer. We got plenty of those. 800 small tubes. Do we have that? We don't. That's right. So we got stone and iron, so we're going to have enough to it. While we're here, let's put that stuff down. Let's just 800 of those. 500 construction components, as we have them. We won't. Never mind, we got tons. That's right, when we salvaged the ship, that gave us a bunch of stuff. 800 computers. Not 800 of them, that's for sure. Some stuff up here. That's where I put the stuff. Yep. Let's make like, what's it, 500 computers. Nope, 800 computers. Better. We're going to need 35 hydrogen bottles. I don't want to make those until we are done messing with the tanks and the ice. We can turn it all off because I don't want to waste hydrogen filling those bottles just to sell them because they don't need to be. Tell you what, let's go ahead and looking up, and then we're going to go get that unknown signal. Because why not? We're still thinking about what we need to do. Get anything good? Cow grinder. I forgot we have the nice grinder. Which is great unless you're trying to do precision work. Then it's real bad. You grind stuff so fast you will accidentally grind your whole ship down. And not even mean to. That's not a good sign. That jiggle means we are probably moving too fast for... It's not bad. It looked like it had a catch in it. It's usually a bad sign. Usually means you're moving down too fast. It doesn't know where we are. How are we on? This can't because we're full. We've got quite a bit. Make sure we're down. If we're into the stone. Let's pull our drills up. Off, off. More likely the person is locked on. Drills off. Goes out of here. I'm really just torn whether or not we should build and design our own large grid ship to get us out of here. I think we should. I think that's the right thing to do. Do that, we're gonna need plenty of space to build it. Let's be nice if it was connected to the base, so it would get power and it'd be easier to. It was on this, all on the same grid. That's what I mean by that is we built, much like we built this kind of scaffold over, we did a similar thing for the ship off the corner here. It's something like this. That. There's a little walkway up. Now, start building a ship from this point. We'd be connected to our main base, so it'd be easy to get power and whatnot, and then it's going to be there'd be some building of these conveyors, but we could conveyor stuff over to it so we could fill our hydrogen stuff that way directly. And or just pull resources out of the base. All right. Tell you what, if I'm going to do this, I need probably to get a touch of caffeine. 1 second. Let's in here. Grab us a seat. Let's throw on. Be right back. I will be right back. All right, we're back. Caffeine. Got some text messages. Hopefully that caffeine kicks in quick. So we can start thinking about designing a large grid ship to get us off planet. I think the way we start this is going to be just grab I think we maybe start with like a deck or a spine. Spine is probably a better thought here. A center line. That's pretty big. Okay. So from that center line, so how do we want to set this up? Let's at least make it a little wider without falling. Oops. Find this out. So this is going to mostly be kind of a base where kind of get up and out of here. We will probably have to build onto this, if not completely rebuild this. So I got to keep that in mind. This is not a final solution. This is just a solution that we're going to go with. If that's the case, let's put Hey, Charlie B. So what we are building. Also, let me know if volumes sound okay. As far as like the game audio versus my audio, music and stuff. But what we're building here is going to be the base for our escape ship. We want to get off planet, explore the rest of the universe. So I think we're going to build a large grid ship. It's going to have hydrogen power, which means we're going to need a hydrogen tank and kind of, I don't want to say it's a mobile base, but it's going to be kind of a mobile base. Just trying to get an idea of how we even want to do it. The other option would be we could buy a ship from the base over there that would do this for us, but it feels more right to build it. Just trying to think about how I want to go about doing it. this might be like the main hallway. If we do that, we'll have like an airlock. Start that. Let's grab. Yeah, it'll be a pretty big project. Oh, hang on, I'll do this too while you're here. Let me know if the audio sounds okay on this. Just use the screen, it's all the same. I can put me back on here too. I went with one of the new audio tracks. But hopefully it's not too loud or too quiet either. At least compared to voice. Should be a little quiet, but not like hard to hear quiet. Off. Back. Sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, so we're gonna build a doorway. We're gonna build an airlock. Is what we're gonna build. So let's use this door. You know what I should do? I'm finding myself in the predicament of, ooh, in order to do this, let's do that. And if we're going to do that, let's do this. And if we're going to do that, then we'll do this other thing. But if I'm going to be building out here, and I'm going to need a lot of materials to do this, I think what we're going to want to do is go ahead and make a conveyor connection out to there, because we're going to need it anyway. Let's do this, that way it doesn't freak out when we disconnect here. This can actually be a T. So I was going to stream a little earlier today, but I got a call from a training buddy. He's been kind of crippled up for a couple months now. He's finally kind of up and moving. So I went and grabbed a bite to eat with him and his wife. I am utterly stuffed because I ate lunch at like 2 o'clock and he called me at like 3. Well, I guess I could go have Hobbit lunch. Went to Olive Garden. That was good. I only had soup and salad, but that was still a lot of food. So if I just fall asleep midstream, that's why. Full belly. Yeah, I was debating on the drive in. Was like, yeah, I can just get some super salad. That'll be fine. I guess I did just deliver a bunch of motors. Why is it not building? How do we not have nickel? I bet the assembler is full of stuff. There's no way we don't have nickel. Yeah. We also didn't miss much, but we also built some new storage on here, so because we're going to use probably a whole large tank's worth of hydrogen on that ship. Move the drills a little bit to get some more ice. Just again needing the cargo space. Wait. There, make a bunch of these. Need a bunch. All right. Have fun. Yeah, I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. This built even just building this is taking time of flying back and forth, so yeah, I think it was good we did this. We might have to build a welding ship. We might end up having to build a welding ship, depending on how we build up our ship here. That might be better, but we'll see. Hi.
Energy low.
Not sure I had the components to do that, but okay. Insert inset connector. Yep. That way it faces us. What? How could I not get 6 motors? I don't even need 6 motors? Don't. Alright. Now we can get this stuff right here. Luckily we have the nice welder, so it doesn't take very long. Okay, so if we have a doorway here, then we need probably another doorway here. Or we could give ourselves an offset hallway. If we do that, then we could get away with do a half door. I think it'd be cooler. What if we did offset door? there. But where do we want it? Where do we put it? I mean, the classic would be that we would have just another sliding door here. Just straight pass through. And we might want to just go simple. Simple is probably better. And then we could still have the hallway kind of go to one side. Yeah. Do this. What? How do we not have motors? I don't understand. I was told to make like, because we don't have nickel. We really not have nickel? We got tons of nickel. Why is the assembler full of iron?
Energy critical.
You don't need that much iron. You need power though. Might need to put a seat or something up there so we can fill power without coming all the way back here. Okay, so we got that. So we need a vent and walls and buttons. Let's put our vent in the floor or the ceiling. Let's go with where I think is the better option here, because we're gonna have things coming off the bottom anyway. Vent. Air vent. Let's go with a floor vent. Yeah. I don't always like walking on the rubber pads, but again, this is not supposed to be our final. This is just getting us there. It's already probably more than it needs to be. What? Insert. There, that's fine. And if we're going to do that, and we're talking about having from this side. Maybe this is the I think here how we want to build this out. We're gonna need to let's do an insert light. bed. Have to. Just put like something there, just so we can get this insert light in. I like having a light in my airlock. I would normally actually have 2 lights in my airlock, but that's okay. We can get away with just 1. Is there anything else we need to have access to in the airlock? I don't think so. And the airlock takes. Well, we'll have a little mini server room, kind of like we do in the base, that has a whole bunch of timers and remote controls. About that right here. Something to seal off this side. All right. I guess for now we could just use a block line. A plate for that though. Yep. Now theoretically, the inside might be that. Goes green. Here we have an airlock. We'll have to set up some buttons so that the airlock does what we want it to do, but we have an airlock. So this will be kind of where we come in the ship from the back, and we'll have to form some armor and whatnot. Figure that out. In here, I would like to push us to one side or the other, so I'm thinking maybe our hallway's maybe this side. And these are rooms. So what we might do is something like that. Is that really what I want? I did. This. Shoot. Wait. Oh, much steel plate. There we go. As soon as we came out, we were met with that. It's going to kind of shunt us over into this hallway here. Right? So we kind of like, oh, here, and then we can build some rooms here, which means this is going to have to be wider, which I'm not surprised to find out, right? Yeah. There. Boom, over to the hallway. Let's make this out of, maybe put some windows. This or something like doors, windows. Something like this window block. I think. Let's do. Close it up. Kind of like the other. Kind of like the little cutout to be top corner. So like you'll be in this hallway, and then our doorways will be here that take you into the other rooms. Might even throw like a half stair to get us up to like maybe the cockpit area in here somewhere. I like that idea. What if like right here though we had a door? Maybe we do like half door maybe. Yeah, do that. And then we'd come in here. And put a med bay maybe in here. We have a medical room. Something like that. I don't like that because that into this side though. Have like as soon as you come in, get up. That though, it might move. No, we can't move that because can we? That should connect to that. Yeah, that's not bad. Something like that. Okay, it's not terrible. Not against it so far. Kind of has a little bit of decorative ability. Have like a window, maybe a bed. Right, we are in the med bay. Put it there. Then you could set those panels to have like vital signs or whatever. Bed there. And we do the half bed. Don't get to use the half bed very often. Pass through. That might be neat. Yeah, let's do that. Phone's blowing up again. Actually have legitimate text messages that I'm waiting for. Those are Discord notifications that I'm not waiting for. What if I use maybe the porthole vent here? Not a porthole vent, but a porthole. Like that. Good interior wall we can put here. Let's seal it. Like that. Nope. All right, so let's look at are there any good corner blocks. What if we did a desk, couch, planters. Weapon rack, possibly, although the weapon rack in the med bay is a little odd. This guy. That doesn't look right. Nope. Okay. How about a weird block shape that would fit this? And give me what I want. Yeah, I think I really thought this would have the block that I want. I know it exists. Not there. Not there. It's there. Want that block. That's the block I want. Let's weld this up. Okay. Bed. Well, I hope that's gonna end up being airtight. We'll find out. I know this isn't. That's okay. Make a bunch of material plate. I see. First things first, let's drop all that in. Now let's action. I'm not gonna have enough nickel. Got tons of nickel. Why do we keep pulling all of this iron? Really messing us up. This will be a little mid bay. I like it. Make those. I mean, I will need the motors, but I need the mid components now. Go. Components. All right. We're gonna have to put some stuff on the outside here. That's okay. And we're gonna have to conveyor that up, which is also okay, because we're gonna probably have a conveyor line right down through the center here. Just go ahead and set that up. there. I hope I didn't disconnect anything. Do the... Oh, I absolutely did disconnect stuff that fell through the floor. That's okay. We can build that, no problem. We're gonna do conveyor that way. Right now, we'll go that far with it. Place those as we need. Target that by chance. Fly. Nope. Really? Not enough.
Energy low.
Okay, we have to build a seat out here. Actually, just do that now that we're talking about it. Oh, so now we can get power. Oh, we just made using the drill really hard. This much bigger, but alright. So yeah, we're gonna... It's gonna be a pretty big ship. I'm gonna try to keep it kind of confined to this width-ish. We're probably gonna make it like a second level for like the command deck and maybe to land some ships on. Got this built up. Yep. That means we gotta come over to here with it. So this. A C shape. Oop. This becomes a T shape. Because we're going to need all this piped up anyhow. Like 1,000 interior plate. We're going to need all this pipe in here because we're going to be using hydrogen engines, so we're going to need all of this kind of piping anyhow. But now I guess now we don't need the... Hang on. Oh yeah, that. Like, why didn't I get any hydrogen out of that? Won't, because it's not hooked up to the whole conveyor system yet. But I don't need that anymore. Wasn't thinking as soon as we put this up, I can get power here. Okay. Let's put our door back. Is there? we did. It's more like armor plate here. That. Okay. Beans. Now, something else that we're going to have to do is we're going to want to make each of these rooms individually airtight and with their own vent. So what we could do is kind of cheat to the fact that what? There it is. We could cheat the fact that this is not an airtight block by putting the vent right here. Want that vent? Let me try that. Now this will also have to get conveyored up. That's not a deal because we have conveyor right there we can shoot over from. Or maybe pick it up because we might, whatever we're going to put here, we might put another vent in. Okay. We'll have to put something on the outside of this, that's fine. It might be like half block or something. Put half block there so the window will be kind of recessed, which I'm fine with. Figure that out here in a second. This needs to be some sort of full block. Hey there, is it Parzival? Parzival? How are you doing today? Welcome in. We're trying to build out a large escape ship, basically, to get us off planet. Thought about buying one from our station that's over there. Sells ships, but I think we're going to build one instead. So I'm kind of laying it out, figuring out how we want to do it. The slow process of figuring out ship layout. I was thinking that we're also going to have a to have a bridge or a second floor of the bridge, basically. So we might place that. It'd be easier to move this. We can have that open for bridge. Okay. We just need to make sure we get a solid block there. Come in. I think we put like a half stair somewhere up here. And then we could get away with maybe like a refinery, a basic refinery and an assembler. Water block too, but basic refinery just in case. could go. Could go. Not sure. What if we did the boiler? Think. Not sure how I want to do that. I'm pretty confident in these. Let's build these windows while we consider. We have to extend them. But... okay. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be our hallway. We're going to be asymmetrical. We're not going to have a center line hallway. We're going to have a offset hallway. And kind of our rooms will be over here. Do that. We could. Do another doorway like this. That kind of matches. Something like that. And even. That's not what I want. Maybe just so it blends. Now I have to figure out what we do up here, but that would mean we could put a vent on this side. We're gonna have to one of these up. It's gonna be this one. So this comes out. It's a T block. This will be a C block. Oh, one. Brain. See the angle that you want. Oh, I want. Oh. That's what I want. I want the opening facing inside the ship on that one. For no particular reason other than because I do. Now that should be wired or piped up, which means this is piped up. Now we just have to figure out how we're going to lay this room out. Which already tells me that this doorway is in the wrong place because we could feed directly off of those. I already know that that's not where we want this. We could put the assembler directly on that. Actually, we can do this. This is silly, but put the assembler here. And then put the refinery. Like it that way. That doesn't work because it's connected. So there though. This. Like the refinery there. And then put the assembler right off of it. It does pass through on all. Passes through this. See what this looks like. We'll have to change that block. That's okay. We'll have to figure out where our door is going to be. Okay. So we don't fall. It's kind of like a mechanical room we could have. Vented. Means we could put our door back like we had it. Still have that and that. You have access to it. The other thing we're starting to forget already is we need a big old cargo container. Might find a way to hang that off the bottom or something, maybe. All right. So what else would we put in here? We could throw. We know we can't do the rotor trick that we did in our other server room. It requires more height than that. Could I could just put some straight up. Well, can't block this vent all the way, so we need a half block here of some kind, which is probably going to be a port window. Ugh, that looks dumb. Not at all. Ick. Ick, ick, ick. It almost needs to be like something. Something like the bed. Okay. But not a bed, because that's a silly thing to have in this room. Not a bed. It's not a window. Could be a kitchen. Couch block won't work. Armory won't work because it's not pass through there. Gotta sneeze.
Energy low.
That's actually not a bad armory block for it, but yeah, I don't like that either. Okay, let's fill our energy and think about that for a second. Do we maybe not want that there? Feels like the right spot for it. We're going to have to put something on the outside of that anyway. Right, we said, kind of said that there's going to have to be like half blocks coming off this. Like that. Probably angle those. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Here's a trick though. Let's just quick just see if that even seals. Let's just grab a whole bunch of these. A whole bunch of steel plate. We're gonna take these right back off, but I just want to make sure it's gonna seal up the way I think. Or I do a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't work and have to come back and redo all of it. Yeah. Hello. Still yellow. Oh, yeah, it'd help if the floor was welded. Because of that. Not here. Check the underside. Yeah, it's most definitely because of that. So all needs resealed. Well, shoot. How do we want to go about this? Let's see. We could just change all of this to straight, just conveyor block. You know what? Yep, let's do that. Let's do, before we take that off there and that fall down, just make these conveyors. I'm gonna take a little more material. Doesn't look as clean, but here's. We don't have to worry about doing any weird angles or anything if we do this. We just put the conveyor block in where we need conveyor blocks. All right. Now is that sealed? Oh, those are all closed up blocks. Let's see. It is. Okay. We got a little med bay kind of going. Still, throw a little thing here or there. Throw something right there. Maybe if we need to. Probably need a light. Light would probably be good because that's dark. We'll come back and fix our lighting though after everything's in place. If we like where everything is. Right, so what if we did? Oops. What if we did this? Pick these up off the ground. Did half block, single block. That almost forces us to put a window there. Which we didn't really like. The other option though is we could make that vent. Hang on, let me do this before I break this again. That'll hold that in place. So now we can move this vent through here. Put it in the floor because it's all a different type of conveyor now. Do like that. Actually use vents. Do this. And then we're going to put something against this wall. That won't be bad. So I could do like lockers, maybe. Armory locker's not bad, but I think just a regular locker looks better. Although will it when there's another half block right there? Maybe we do that. That. Like that. Then we come in here. Up to our window. Wall. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, where's another partial block that we could use? I mean, I guess we could always come back to this block. We can't. That will actually be too much. What about this block? That should technically work. Kind of a weird, creates a little weird corner there, but we just have to deal with that. That should leave that enough of a vent opening to pressurize this space. Yeah. The question is, what else we could put in here? And we could put. I still want to figure out a spot to kind of put our quote-unquote server room. We'll be able to put a bunch of not programmable, but logic blocks essentially. We don't have plenty of those, so I need a space dedicated for it. Really could just put 2 windows. Do that like it's unheard of, but it would kind of throw off the little bit of a pattern we got going here. That pattern would stay. Half block, full block, front of the ship, maybe? Okay. In that case, I could do maybe like a locker situation. I don't like that with that. Full half block, and that's like a quarter block or something. I don't like the way that kind of blends. Could back to this guy right here. We just need a good half block right there, which could just be a straight half block. I mean, could just do that. You know what? For right now, I think I like that. Go over here. Do that. And that. Now we have this kind of match, which means we should probably do a similar kind of thing on this side, which means we won't have this whole block of window. So where's the... That would go there. Okay. I'm gonna build this kind of pattern and then we'll see what this ends up looking like. Okay. Do that, and we'll only have like these windows here. That puts, let's make these. This back is our porthole windows. That. That. It's open for a few more windows on this side of the ship, but that's okay. Consistency is important. Then we would leave those like that. That's silly. We'll figure something out. We might just move those back to a regular half block. We'll see. Alright. And we might end up changing those just so that the the yellow conveyor's not poking out the top. And we need something on. It's alright, we'll figure that out. That's going to be a block somewhere. What I would like to do is put some stairs. Just grab the ramp block. Put there. There. We'll put it here. The idea we come in this back door. Boom. We got our med bay. This will take us up, and I want our. I'd like to put like the bridge and stuff kind of up here. Still got to get a large storage container and a large hydrogen tank on here somewhere.
Energy low.
Ooh, we should probably, since we're not hooked up to the base proper, I need to come back here and refill my hydrogen before I crash out. Also, how are we? Tanks are still filling. How much ice do we have? No, we still got quite a bit of ice. Okay. That's good. Let's just keep processing while we're building. So if we come up here, how do do we want our bridge to look? How do we want the rest of this to work? We can put plate down to the floor, but we need it to be taller. I was trying to not build a monstrosity of a ship, but that seems to be where I'm headed with this. I'm almost thinking that we maybe do a layer of block. Also makes me think if we do that, well, no, we still need down here because we need our hydrogen connections. So maybe we just do like a full layer of or we could just allow part of the ship to be that big. All right. I think we almost have to go up one more block here. This is where our bridge is. Do that. It'll be like this. Did we just do a whole layer of light armor? Can't do it there. That'll cut us off, but we could do that. Yeah. We're gonna do that. Let's these better. Make them like this. We actually feel like we have more of a hallway situation going on. This become different blocks. So these. All of those, actually. Okay, so maybe that's the wrong block. Here we go with our weird this block so that we make it to a normal half block slope. That might feel better. Yeah, that might be better. Now these are half block. I don't tend to use a lot of half block because it feels like it always makes me feel like I should be able to attach to it and I can't, and so that usually messes me up. If that's the case, these can also be this block. Kind of opens this up more. This could actually be that, probably. Still be able to still easily use the stairs. We'll have to put a doorway at the top of these. So let's grab half block there. And which door do we want? Do like that. Not a huge fan of that, but it might make the most sense with that stairwell. That's going to be weird. That's weird. So yeah, it about has to be that. Yeah. And we'll seal around this so that that's all. This is all a different space. And we might make it might be like bridge. Maybe have an external door, landing pad. Still got to figure out our cargo and hydrogen situation. Do thrusters. Thrusters can be big. We'll figure that out here in a second. I think we like this. Let's grab just a bunch of steel plate, weld that up real quick. Help us kind of see what we got. I talked about using a welding ship for a lot of this, but with the tier 3 welder, it's really not that bad unless we're going to build like a jump drive or large refinery or something. It just has just a ton of pieces. Punch bulletproof class, please. Good that it's full. Yes, why? Why do you keep... Assembler. Why is the assembler holding gravel? I don't get it. The cargo container is not full. It doesn't need to do that. Being real silly. That would be a half block, we know that. We'll figure out how to blend this in. Because I think that's just gonna look really weird. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, if we put the right thing here, that might be okay. Maybe. We'll see. We'll leave it like that for now. I don't hate this hallway. Okay. Real boxy so far. I think that's all right. Let's go ahead and throw these in right now. It could very easily become something else, but it gets the idea in. Okay. We'll probably do this like wave shape going through here, to kind of give us a bit of shape to the ship. We'll have to figure out where our thrusters are going to go. I don't want to put them like with that's that conveyor right there. Because we do our really like those to be inset. Can't inset it there because that conveyor is what is feeding our med bay. So it needs to be there because if it's not, that may not be airtight. Always feed it top, but either. So what we could do is leave that and maybe put there and there. Feed the conveyors over. Except I can't put these in there. Okay. Well, figuring out where we're going to put these thrusters could be a problem. me tell you what, while we're thinking about that, let's maybe run one of these missions just to kind of break up what's going on. Let's see what we need in the ship. 24 reactor components. How do we make those? Should have everything we need for that. Okay. Make the hydrogen bottles. We want to wait just a second though on those. Those are last. 795 computers. We don't have 700. Another. What's going on? Oh, my number locks off. Why can't I type? 95 computers. 465 construction components. Wow, we burned through a bunch of construction components. Okay, well, we just gotta kind of let everything build. We're also gonna need 100 of those. Okay. I think I was forgetting to blink. For a minute. It's getting warm in my room here. Let's go ahead and turn those off. Those off. Off. Already off. 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 So now we can make 35. Oh. Hydrogen tanks. For those. These computers down here. $465 construction components. Like 798 or something of these. Like almost 800. Check. Yep, 798. 8 silicon. Thanks. So it just takes finished. That's 6 items, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they're gonna take their bottles. Alright. Let's go ahead and start off by hiding that marker. We're gonna get to it, but not that one. So let's make a delivery. Special delivery. Enneagram from Mongo. Make a nice, easy flight. Relax my eyes for a second. I also think I'm still trying to get used to having my my overhead light on. Normally don't play with that, but I'm gonna have to for the camera. And I think that's bothering my eyes a little bit. But we'll get used to it, I guess. Go deliver this stuff. See if there's any new missions we can take, and then we might also swing wide on the way back just to see if we can get some a base or something to spawn around us, or a wreck or something else we can kind of mess with. We'll get back to trying to design the big escape ship. Also might be getting a slight headache because a friend wanted to meet up for dinner. They wanted to go to Olive Garden, which I haven't gone to for ever. And it's not bad, but there's a lot of salt. And, I probably ate more salt in that meal than I normally do in a week. What? Let's see what kind of free stuff we can get. Welder. Sneak into the kitchen here. Ammo. I'm realizing now, I forgot to set my pockets back to a more default setting. I rammed them up when we were scavenging the ship that we found earlier, just because it was going to be a nightmare to not do that. Now I have a lot of pocket space. Finish. Position, see what we can do. Metal grid, iron ore, hydrogen bottles. Mixture plate. Can't do uranium. You can do everything but the uranium. Oxygen bottles. Pretty sure I said hydrogen bottles. Oh, they're both. Okay. We got plenty of cobalt, so we can do that. Anything good for sale? Again, ships, which we could buy. I can't buy that guy, but that's expensive. Ships, we don't need them, but those are neat things to be able to buy. Alright. Jump back to base here. That's right, I said we don't go wide. This way. Once we kind of get back into the flats a little bit, we'll cut back over and approach from that direction. Just see if we get anything to spawn by chance. Also a little sleepy because I woke up early this morning and couldn't fall back to sleep for some reason. Been getting up and kind of messing around with stuff all day. Not seeing anything. It's unfortunate. Let's go back over towards home base here. Yeah, well, excuse me. Well, I'm going for about 2.5 hours. I was going to go for 3 or 4. We'll see though what we get going here. I'm also just not sure what direction to go with the ship either. Maybe should have went a little smaller with my plans, but what's the fun in that? Oh, it did work. Did get something. Let's see what this is. terrain that we can at least take a rover over. Because we have the rover built to haul a bunch of material just for things like this. It's marked as neutral, so that's good. Let's slow up. That definitely looks like a gun on top of that. Let's move in just a little closer. Careful. Could have an 800-meter range. Pointing at us. Let's get a little closer. Kind of be ready to take evasive actions if we have to. Okay. Still not. I can't imagine the Gatling would not be shooting at us. It's going to at this range, so let's go nice and easy. Again, it's showing neutral, so I don't expect it to attack us. Let's see what we got here. Better down. Get through the door still half opened. Yeah, first things first. Let's see if it'll let us. System active, okay. Right. Let's just go ahead and burn that down. Just in case anybody decided to get a sneaky idea here. We have the I forget what the mod is that makes it full survival kit. Nice. That claims grids and stuff. Because normally claiming grids is a friggin' nightmare. Block transfer? I think I have to figure that out. I don't want this going away. Yeah, ooh, Prototech stuff. That's a big find. Anything else that it wants me to? Oh. If I pair this, doubt I have those computers anywhere. Computers on my ship? I don't think I do. not, but let's. Oh, power's off. That's why I was like, why can't I? Anything in there? I don't understand why it won't let me claim this though. Oh, hang on. Let's see what the ship has. Bed. Now, can I claim? Okay. What's in here? Ship iron. Does it have? What do you got? Ion thrusters. There's no cargo on this thing? Oops. Airline, Ben's got money. Parachute hatch. Apparently the parachutes didn't work. Okay. I wish to claim this. Why can I no claim this? There's no new power, maybe? The control seats have like less stuff. Well, we may just have to do this in a hurry. Real quick in a hurry, actually. We've got 2 hours. Let's first off, let's mark it. Now let's take off. Back to home base. Get our rover over here. And start disassembling that thing to parts. Should be able to get it pretty well scrapped before the 2-hour mark. Then we can worry about rebuilding our ship. And so we come for a landing. Oh, the other thing we forgot about on our big ship is batteries. Plenty any space for them. We're gonna have to definitely work some of those in, probably in place of some of those armor block. Let's drop off this stuff that turn on all of these. All these generators back on. Actually, be off, that's fine. On. Come on. Okay. Cool. Now let's drop off Vertex stuff. So you can carry that stuff around. Ready. You know what, let's take with us though. Got a stack of computers. It might be handy to be able to. Maybe if we rebuild the cockpit, it'll let us take over the ship, and then we don't have to worry about timing. Oh, we have bulletproof glass. We don't. Displays we might. Oh, money. Let's connect. Let's make our way over to our salvage marker. Oh, obviously without ramming too many trees. We were too wide to make that. Hopefully, I guess I should have double checked that we're empty. Hopefully, we don't have too wild of a time getting there. Any of the crazy ravines, because we are going to have to traverse some mountain here. Rocks. We could drive by these rocks, see if they have anything cool in them. I don't think they would have platinum. Pretty sure the rocks still can only have the planetary minerals in them. But, yep, nickel. Let's also try to not. You know what? I just thought. Just this second. We never took a blueprint of this. Let's. Blueprint of duck. Wait, and we should probably put a projector on this somewhere at some point. If you wreck it, it's a little easier to repair. But Got to put the projector on and re-blueprint it. All that kind of fun stuff. That later. When we don't feel like we're in a time crunch. Now let's just try to not ramp over hills and roll and or wreck the old turtle duck. Oh, okay. Oh, got a little bit of air. All right. A little bit of air is okay. We don't get a lot of bit of air. That's the problem. Fairly uneventfully. Let's circle around. I'm already facing back the right way. Big thing's going to be. There we go. All right, first thing, let's open our store stuff. Let's see if we can open this all the way up. That was good. Now we don't have to worry about timing. Now we can take our time. Large cargo container. We don't know if it has anything in it or not. Because it's not showing there, and it should though, because it's set to show on inventory. When it's broke, it should. Like the Gatling's broke, it shows. Money, take that. Let's just see if we can maybe fix this back up. Oh, there are some thruster components in that. Good find. Let's go ahead and pull this iron ore out. Throw it in. Wrong side. Don't really need iron ore, but we'll take free iron ore. Parachutes might come in handy. We build out our ship because computers for that. Easy. Oh. I grabbed 5 and I needed 7. Leave that seat for just a second because just put back. So we are done. Missed. There we go. Just didn't want to lose those. I grind that down. In case we need to, I guess we just recharge on our ship or our rover. Couple thruster components. I mean, so these are enough thruster components we could build a small grid ion ship, which would be really nice for once we take off for space, because we're going to need some kind of small ship to run around and do things with.
Inventory full.
There, and battery yet.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
What's going to happen? Metal grids. Yes, this is all our block. The thrusters could. Maybe not. May not be able to repair that cargo container. We just have to grind it down and take our chances. I'm not sure. Literally everything but the right key. Check the bed. I don't even know if I have anything on my rover that's got metal grid. Maybe one of my cargo containers. We're in space, we might really care about trying to salvage these batteries and like attach it to our ship, but I just don't think it matters so much here on planet. The effort of getting a
Inventory full. Vehicle.
large grid battery back. It's lost of tubes. But yeah, the effort of getting a large grid battery back home in gravity is probably not worth what it would take to do. Oh, got our grids. Still tubes. Of course, it doesn't have any left. Too easy.
Energy low.
Sorry, engineer. Oh, we got it. And access denied. What? Access denied. Ooh, there's cobalt. Well, I say it was something, and that something was cobalt. I said it like I knew there was, or I thought there was going to be cobalt. Let's get some power back. The rest of the cobalt out of there. Stuck on the tires. It's fun. There's, just like the other crash, there's going to be some blocks that are under the ground that aren't going to be able to get to unless we dig them up, which we don't really want to do. So, let's see though, if there's any. Just showing those. I'm going to assume there's nothing of any real value over there. But we're going to this stuff off. We're going to cheat a little bit. See if there's anything. Something is still there. It just looks like a bunch of steel plate. Just to kind of clean that up a little bit. Now, let's close the doors. We're gonna do the dangerous thing. We're gonna drive home in a snowstorm. And we're gonna be heavier and very likely unbalanced, so be a little careful. Rolling Steady wins this race. Fastest we've ever driven this thing. Follow my own advice. It's fairly stable. I just want to make sure I don't go any real big jumps or any really hard turns. Probably be okay. Hey, snowstorm. It's gonna be over. Ready to make it to the nice, flat, easy part of the drive. Check this rock as we drive by. Iron. Alright. We're gonna get parked, get this offloaded. I think we're gonna call it a night. Getting sleepy. It's not even getting sleepy, I'm getting tired. My eyes are bother me. I think part of it is the lighting. The other side of these holes. Close to get. Gyro myself into position. Almost. There we go. Lock. Figure out our inventory. Do. Nice. There's our. Check and see how many thruster components we got. We get quite a bit from that ship, but 46 thrusters. So the other benefit is thrusters contain platinum. So if we needed some platinum for something, we could take it from thruster components. Okay. think so. The other thing I would like to do is maybe move all of this, and all the ores over, processed. Let's do the iron first, just because it'll get done way before the cobalt will. Other thing is money in there. I want to grab ammo and firearm. All of it. Yeah. It can all go over here. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so last check. All right. We checked our missions. We'll do that again next time to finish the ones we have. We scouted. We didn't find pirate base, but we found a shipwreck. OSHA's not going to be happy with anything over there right now, so we didn't. Yeah, we built these on the base. No real concerns on these, so those are okay. Got ice. Probably have all we need for now, so let's get ice. And still work on escape plan, which we kind of did, and we are still doing. That is our escape plan. It's going to be real heavy, but that's okay. Yeah, I think anything else that we need to add to remove this GPS marker. Yeah, and that's all right. So I think that's all of it. Once again, I'm not sure that there's anyone in here right now, but I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Hopefully, while you were here, things were good. Hopefully, sound and audio were okay. Still trying to get some of that stuff kind of worked out, but I think it's hopefully better. But I appreciate everybody that came in, and I hope you had a good time. We'll see everybody the next time. Catch you later.